Hello everyone, how you going? And welcome back to some more Heritage Minutes. Now these ones we're going to check out today are actually some ones that were suggested, and I had a great time just learning about all the different range of, I kind of guess it was the military last time, but hopefully this time we can get just a better range and we'll just see what we can get from these 1 minute movies. Here we go.
Hey guys, this just came from Montreal. And it's pro equipment.
Listen, hey Joseph Armand, you make a lot of money serving mass, so maybe you could buy this.
Oh, sorry guys, but well, I've got other plans in mind.
It'll take more than a couple of screws and a box of springs to repair your father's watch, my boy.
Say, Mr. Laflamme, how much do you want for this?
My tools are not for sale.
Hey, I can pay.
Damn. Fair enough.
From his first experimental snowmobile to jet aircraft, Joseph Armand Bombardier's vision would eventually circle the world, thanks to the company that still bears his name.
Hang on a second, that took a massive turn. We went from building watches to then a car that like a little not remote control car, just a little pool car, and then all of a sudden he's building what?
Experimental snowmobile to jet aircraft.
Experimental snowmobiles to jet aircraft. What the hell did this guy just suddenly do to go from literally like a little wagon that, like I said, he pulled along the car to literally building a jet aircraft? What? I mean, that guy is a hell of a mastermind. I mean, it certainly makes sense in terms of this little bit of a start where it's like, oh, come on, you make money. No, I want actually to spend my money really wisely. I have an idea, I have a vision, and man, these guys are just very smart, you know. They go out, they know what they want, they know that they want to either do this with their life, do that with their life, and they're just super smart. And literally, judging by what they said,
from his first experimental snowmobile to jet aircraft, Joseph Armand Bombardier's vision would eventually circle the world.
I mean, I'm certainly not going to pretend to be able to pronounce his name, but either way, that's a hell of a leap, going from just little watches to an entire jet. Like, that's crazy. And also,
Joseph Armand Bombardier's vision would eventually circle the world, thanks to the company that still bears his name.
Yeah, like they say that it still bears his name. I mean, I don't think I know what company they're talking to. I mean, I don't know if they're called the Bombardier. I don't know if that's how it's said. But either way, no, obviously that company was just started by that guy and it has literally taken off the ground because that's insane. Anyway, I guess let's just move on to this next one that I've got. So here we go, another recommended one that I have no idea about.
Oh my God, look at that. Yeah, thank God she's a half a mile away.
She's loaded, boys. You gotta get out of here. It's full of explosives.
Children, come on.
Oh no. No, get out of here. Vince!
Come back in the school.
Please, get these children out of here. That ship is gonna blow. No!
Mr. Coleman.
Hurry! Hurry!
Wow.
Gotta get these people out of here. That ship is gonna blow. The train.
What?
People, get out of here. It's gonna blow up. Mission ship on fire. Stop train. Please, God, answer.
Coleman, there's no time.
The train's coming in towards Pier 6. I've got to warn you.
Come on, Vince, come on.
There are 700 people aboard it. I've got to stop it. Come on,
Jesus.
Come on, acknowledge.
Halifax was devastated. 9,000 wounded, 2,000 dead, including Vince Coleman, dispatcher.
Whoa. Wait, what? I have to listen to those numbers again.
1,000 dead. Halifax was devastated. 9,000 wounded, 2,000 dead, including Vince Coleman.
9,000 wounded, 2,000 dead. Honestly, I have never even heard of numbers like that. I mean, I kind of feel as though I know the name, but like I said, I know nothing about it. And so to be hearing that there's numbers like that, was it a ship? Or I mean, that's just based off what I just kind of learned through this entire thing. Where is it? Now, here we go. Okay, so we have this ship here, and I guess that was loaded with 1917 explosives, and so it just went off with a bang. I mean, I'd love to know how the entire thing started because it didn't exactly cover things like that. But no, this guy, he thought of the train in this time period of what, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. He thought of the train and literally stayed behind, and I guess was caught up in the explosion just because he stayed behind to warn the train to stop. I mean, he kind of went, okay, there are 700 people on this train going wherever, but it's just going to get caught up, and they were able to stop it, which is insane. I mean, I can only imagine that at the start here, they're kind of going, oh yeah, you know, it's ages away, it's not going to do anything to us, and then obviously it was a little bit more devastating than people originally expected. And so I guess if I come back down, where was it?
Halifax was devastated.
Okay, well I don't know if that's because the ship's name was Halifax, but I can only assume actually it's probably the town's name, or if it's a city or what. I mean, I have no idea where in Canada that would be, but no, that's an amazing, just quick thinking and really just amazing sacrifice to be able to go, okay, I'm actually just going to stay behind. Hopefully, maybe I'll get out, but if I don't, at least I just hopefully save the train, and there aren't many people that would be doing that these days. And so really now I'm just wishing that we had some kind of video of what the entire thing looked like, because I guess we had the Beirut explosion last year, but I'm fairly sure the numbers that were kind of caught up in that were nothing compared to this. But obviously that was a massive explosion, and I can only believe that I don't know, Halifax probably wasn't as big because of the time period. I really don't know, but either way, obviously that is just a massive thing, and man, someone stuffed up or something went wrong to be able to get those kind of numbers. Jeez. Anyway, I guess in saying that, we have certainly just moved on to a hopefully lighter note by starting out with Superman, which I had no idea. I can only assume it's going to be a Canadian invention, if you want to call it that.
And he can lift anything. Anything at all. He's that strong.
Joe Schuster, will you stop it or you'll miss your train? Now help me find number 5.
Strong, but by day he's a mild-mannered reporter. Glasses, you know, a secret identity.
Honestly, you Canadian kids.
He'd be in this cape.
A what?
A cape, wearing these blue tights.
A hero in tights, really. Here it is.
Listen, Lois, this guy is faster than anything, I swear.
If you're not fast, you're gonna miss your train.
That's it. A bullet. A bullet. He's faster. No, he's faster than a speeding bullet.
Come on, get on it. No one's gonna read a comic strip about a strong man in tights, Joe. It'll never fly.
Fly, no. But he can leap over tall buildings. Oh, wow, yeah.
See what your cousin Frank says in Toronto.
Wait, Lois. I've got something for you. Here, take it. It's a gift. You never know. It might be worth something someday.
Look at that.
Is he great or what? Bye-bye, Lois.
Here we go. Before I was really interrupted by ads immediately playing. No, that was an incredible thing. I never knew, like I said, that Superman was created by a Canadian. I just would have assumed, I would fairly sure that all of those things kind of came out of the USA. And really, it's kind of surprising to me because she said, oh, no one's going to watch a hero in tights, but I'm fairly sure Superman was the first hero. And so I guess even though perhaps you have things like Hercules and those kind of ancient stories, other than that, I'm fairly sure there wasn't actually any kind of modern day superhero. You know, Superman was first, then Batman, and bloody blah, kind of goes on from there. But either way, to have the entire idea in the first place to just go, hang on a second, you know, faster than a speeding bullet. I mean, I can only imagine it's been a little bit dramatized. I would love to know if her name was really Lois, because that's an incredible connection if that's the case. And to be honest, I feel as though the most disappointing thing is the fact that I never even learned this guy's name. Like, who was the actual original illustrator, creator of Superman? I don't learn anything from this video besides the fact that I can only assume that it was a Canadian drawing invention, whatever you want to call it. I mean, she did say, I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but go visit your cousin in Vancouver.
Tights, Joe. It'll never fly.
Fly, no.
Where was it?
See what your cousin Frank says in Toronto.
Oh, Toronto, there we go. So your cousin Frank in Toronto, and so maybe he had some kind of a publishing agency, whatever, and so this guy just went, stuff it, I'm going to my cousin, here we go. Hopefully I can actually just get this entire idea and concept off the ground, whether it be flying or jumping over a single building, whatever it may be. The fact that someone can even kind of think up these ideas and go, you know what, you know, these days I feel as though obviously if you kind of have the scaffolding to be able to go, well, of course you can just make new superheroes, you make them strong, you make them fast, you make them smart, whatever it may be, but to have the original idea, then that's pretty special. But anyway, obviously moving on to this next one, we've kind of come into the modern generation in terms of all of these videos. The last ones have been the originals, which I'm fairly sure were in the 80s. People were saying that now they've been brought back in the 2010s, and so let's just see Terry Fox, no idea, but another recommendation.
I'm not special. Wow. Cancer happens to people all the time. I take 1 mile at a time, 26 miles a day.
Damn.
I want to set an example that'll never be forgotten. Sometimes, it feels endless. But the pain I feel is nothing. I've seen little kids in so much pain. Somewhere, the hurting must stop.
Terry Fox ran more than halfway across Canada to raise money for cancer research. Every year, millions of people around the world continue the marathon of hope in his name.
Wow. Well, obviously we're just going on a roller coaster ride from going from an explosion to Superman to now just this absolute hero. But either way, this guy's just crazy in terms of he was just able to run, I guess they said, halfway across Canada, which we know is a very, very big country, being the second biggest country in the world. But he ran halfway across with, I can only assume, with an amputee right leg. I mean, that's just absolutely crazy. Just like the amount of extra stress on the body, but really just the drive that this person has, Terry Fox has, is just, man, you really don't have many people that would be able to do that physically, let alone mentally, and just overcome all of those different boundaries. I'm fairly sure in the comment that actually suggested this one that we're going, man, this guy's an absolute hero, just everyone really knows about him because, and really as they should, you know. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if something like Forrest Gump was kind of modeled off this guy, because this just sounds incredible. I mean, obviously Forrest Gump hadn't even lost his right leg, but it sounds like a very, very similar story in some ways, I guess. And to be running, I'm fairly sure he said, what, 26?
I take 1 mile at a time, 26 miles a day.
Yeah, 26 miles a day. So what's that? That's 50, so let's say 45 kilometers a day you're running just over hills and rain and wet and whatever it may be. 45 kilometers a day, that's a lot of running, man. Like I said, I really don't feel as though there were many people that would be able to physically do that. And even with the kind of technology at the time, it looks like, given how stiff it is, it's kind of like a peg leg, you know. It looks as though maybe it has a knee joint and it's kind of been remodeled, but I can only imagine that. I can imagine if he had the blades of today. I mean, I don't actually know when this was. I mean, this kind of footage makes me think that it's something to do in the 80s to 90s. I really can't tell that close with this footage, but no, now I just want to know so much more about this guy. Like, I guess, did he lose his leg to cancer, or did he lose it to something else, and then it was inspired to kind of raise money for the Cancer Society, or just what kind of empowered him to do this? Because really, it takes a very special kind of person to kind of stand up literally and just go for a run 45k a day through rain, snow, whatever it may be, and just raise money for cancer and kids and whatnot. And so yeah, I guess it's actually just kind of inspiring to hear that they still kind of carry on the legacy of doing what he's done. You know, they every year a whole one little people just get together. They do, whether they do it in stages or together, I have no idea, but even the fact that the idea itself is still being carried along, trying to raise money for cancer, there isn't many things better than that, is there? And so I guess now coming to the final one, we have Viola Desmond, either way, I have no idea, and let's just see what we've got.
All I wanted was to see a movie. One down, please.
I can't sell downstairs tickets to you people.
How dare they?
1946.
I could afford to buy the more expensive ticket. I run my own business. But they refused to take my money. They left me there all night. On what charge? They said I didn't pay the theater tax. But it was really about color.
Sister Desmond, appeal this conviction and your community will stand behind you.
Do you have any idea what this will do to us?
So what are you going to do? Make it right.
Viola Desmond's case inspired Nova Scotia's civil rights movement. She was pardoned 63 years later based on the injustice of her conviction.
63 years later, oh god, that's just wow. Wait, okay, so let me just do some maths. So 46 to 63, oh, so basically 2009, I would only assume. Geez, that's a long time. But no, to be having 1946, so main floor 40 cents, balcony 30 cents. Okay, so I guess I'm just trying to kind of dissect the entire thing in terms of everything that just went on in this entire 1 minute section. There was so many things that went on. I mean, I would love to know, did she actually? Okay, well, I guess this actually says that she takes action, so I can only assume that she did, and hopefully she won. Maybe she didn't, that's why she had to be pardoned, or whatever they said, 63 years later. But even the fact that, you know, it wasn't even about the fact that, oh, you can't even afford it. No, we just assumed that you can't afford it. No, it wasn't even about that. It was the fact that just everything else involved, you know, where is it? Here we go. She looks up here and she sees all of the people of color up here, and then obviously she's just sitting down here wanting the, I guess, the closer seat, and they literally just come and just rip her out of it. And even the fact that this entire video said that she didn't pay the fee.
On what charge? They said I didn't pay the theater tax.
They said that I didn't pay the theater tax. I mean, I can only assume that's the extra 10 cents to sit on the floor, whatever it may be. But man, like, she obviously had the money to pay it. In terms of that, she said she owned her own business and all these different contributing factors. That would obviously mean that it would be fine, or should be fine, for her to sit on the bottom floor and just enjoy the movie wherever she wants. But no, of course not. 1946, just charged for sitting on a bottom floor where you could obviously just afford to pay the ticket and all those things. I mean, honestly, I feel as though there are some people that do way worse things in movie theaters these days and they get off scot-free. And so, I mean, mean, I guess at least it shows that the world has changed a little bit, but at the same time, man, it's just a tragedy in some ways that this even happened in the first place. And even the fact that when she's talking here, you know, they're going, well, do you know what this might do to us? Like, even the fact that you're kind of in two minds about it because you don't know even if you can win the case, but just even if you do appeal it, just what kind of might happen to the entire community. So man, that's just one hell of a thing to just all be started by the fact that she just wanted to sit and paid for the ticket where she was sitting, to the fact that they have to just actually go through this entire process. Like, oh, you can't even comprehend it, really. And so obviously all of these different heritage minutes, we've been taken on a complete roller coaster ride of emotions, from the first one, an inventor, to an explosion, to Superman, to this, to that, to the, it just like, it, man, there are so many different things in Canada. Obviously every single country's history is so broad that you get things like this. And honestly, I kind of feel as though it's a little bit refreshing that they aren't focusing only on the solely good parts. I mean, hopefully this was actually a good thing in terms of it kind of caused a domino effect of change, but obviously the entire thing is actually kind of just overshadowed by the events that took place in all these different time periods. And I'm fairly sure we actually had kind of a very short range in terms of all these videos, you know, because I'm fairly sure the first one was something like the 20s, and I don't think they were in order, but from the 20s to the 50s ish was around all of these videos. Yeah, from 1920 to then 1917 and then 1931, and then I don't think that this one actually said anything. I mean, I guess this is probably the newest one, so I guess this is the outlier, but overall all of them were within like a whole range of each other. And so obviously all of these videos, like I said a million times, are just absolute snippets of an entire history of a country, but they really just do provide a little just insight into the country's history. Obviously I just keep getting comments that saying, oh yeah, I grew up on these, I know this person, I know this person, and obviously like I said, all of these videos were just ones that people recommended to watch, and hey, you certainly chose some good ones because they were just incredible stories, just regardless of what they were about. But anyway, in saying that, I reckon I'm going to call it there. So thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to do the YouTube algorithmic things down below. Also, if this is the first video of mine that you're watching, then maybe you want to check out some of the other videos we've done. Plenty of Canadian videos, international videos, and then also make sure to check out the original video in the description below. Or hey, maybe even just want to consider subscribing so that you don't miss out on one of these in the future. But all in all, have a good one and see ya.